Good morning, one and all present here. This is Amit Kumar Singh, and welcome to my class on mensuration. So, when we talk about this topic, it is very easy topic, and in order to solve the questions, we have direct formulas, and based on the formula, we can easily solve the questions. So, the application of geometry, what we have learned till now, either it is related to triangles or either it's related to quadrilaterals or circles or three-dimensional solids. All that can be studied and with the help of formula. So mainly we'll concentrate the concept of area and volumes in this subject, and I'll start my class with easy problems on mensuration. So when we talk about mensuration, it is a science of measurement of length, lines, area of surface, and volume of solid. So when we talk about this topic, now when we talk about to understand mensuration, we'll either talk in the term of planes or we'll talk in the term of solids. When we talk about planes, they are two-dimensional and they have two dimensions called length and breadth. While when I talk about solids, they have three dimensions, which are length, breadth, and height. So example of plane, so all the examples like circle or rectangle or parallelogram, all those are the example of planes. While cylinder or cone or sphere, so they are all the example of solids where we talk them about them in the form of three dimension. Now a few important conversions which you can keep in your mind, uh, self-explanatory. So you can keep this in your mind while solving the problem. Units are very important. Now talking about the formula, so you know that about rectangle. Rectangle are basically parallelogram where the pair of opposite sides are parallel and equal, and all sides are 90-degree with each other. The diagonals bisect each other and they are equal. So that is rectangle. So this is area of rectangle is length into breadth, while the perimeter of rectangle is the sum of all sides. That is nothing but 2 into L plus B. When we talk about square, what when we talk about square, so what is basically a square? Square is a kind of rectangle where all sides are equal, and then it follows both the properties of rectangle and rhombus. So while the diagonal of square is root 2a, that you can prove through Pythagoras theorem. Area of rectangle, area of square is the side square, or you can say that is a half of diagonal square. Perimeter of square would be 4a. Then going further, if I talk about triangle, you know that the area of triangle is half into length, half into base into height. Then you can use AB sine theta also formula, or you can use heroin formula, where this you can use where S is the semi perimeter, A plus B plus C by 2. So like perimeter is A plus B plus C, while semi perimeter would be A plus B plus C by 2. Then I can talk about isosceles triangle, where the two sides are equal. If the two sides are equal, then the angles would be also equal. And then through Pythagoras theorem, you can find the value of h. Fine. And then this is the area of isosceles triangle. So along with half into base into height, this is actually half into base into height only. So in place of height, if I put it here, I'll get this formula. Perimeter, you understand that is sum of all sides, that is perimeter. Equilateral triangle, the height formula is root 3 by 2a, where the area is root 3 by 4a square. So this you can prove it by this formula called half AB sine theta. So this is half AB. So AB, A into B both are equal. And sine theta means here the sine theta would be 60 degree. With that you can get this formula. Perimeter would be sum of all sides. Quadrilateral, when we talk about quadrilateral, so if I take a polygon having four sides, they are called quadrilateral. Quadrilateral can be parallelogram, they can be kite, they can be trapezium. Quadrilateral is basically a geometrical representation having four sides. And if you get a quadrilateral where all the sides are unequal, where it is not showing you some property of either trapezium or either parallelogram or any either kite, so irregular quadrilateral something you got. So you can use the concept of triangle. You can divide the quadrilateral. If you draw a diagonal, then it will form two triangles. Then you can apply the formula of half into base into height, and you'll get this formula. What you can see, the perimeter would be the sum of all side. Going further, parallelogram is When we talk about parallelogram is a quadrilateral where opposite sides are equal and parallel. The adjacent angles are supplementary, and opposite angles are equal. The diagonals bisect each other, and diagonals may or may not be equal. So the kind of parallelogram, this is parallelogram. So the kind of parallelogram for which diagonals are equal, so they are rectangle, while the parallelogram for which diagonals are not equal, they are rhombus. So now talking about rhombus, all sides are equal and the diagonals are not equal, but they bisect each other at 90 degree. So you can use a formula of rhombus. In rhombus, you can also use that formula that does sum of square of diagonal, like A, B, C, D. Like these are the four sides. So AC square plus BD square will be equal to AB square plus BC square plus CD square plus AD square. You can use this property also for rhombus. So all the sides are equal, but sides are not inclined with each other at 90 degree, and so their diagonals are not equal. They bisect each other at right angle. That is rhombus. When you talk about trapezium is basically it's a quadrilateral where one pair of sides are parallel while the other pair of sides are not parallel. Those sides which are not parallel, those are called as oblique sides. And if the oblique sides become equal, then that is called isosceles trapezium. So the formula of area of trapezium is half into sum of parallel sides into height. Perimeter would be the sum of all sides. Then I can talk about hexagon. So with hexagon, I can draw 6 equilateral triangle. So then if I apply the formula of 6 into through 3 by 4 of a square, I'll get this formula. Perimeter would be the sum of all sides. Regular hexagon or regular octagon, it means all the sides are equal. So that regular word means that thing. Circle, you know the area of circle, you know the circumference of circle. That is self-explanatory. Semicircle, the area is half of pi r square, while the perimeter would be pi r plus 2r. So this is 2r, this is 2r, and this is pi r. Okay. Then semicircle, that is 1/4 of the circle. That's self-explanatory. You can easily understand. So 2r, and this is 1/4 of 2 pi r. 1/4 of the circle. So that's why you got this formula. Then going further, if you get a ring and all, so this is the formula for ring. The area of self-explanatory. So hollow ring or anything. Then if you get a sector, so sector is a part of circle. So you just need to figure out the part. That part you measure in the term of angle. So that's why the formula is theta by 360 into pi r square in the term of area. While if you want to calculate the length value, for that you can use theta by 360 into 2 pi r. Perimeter of this would be L plus 2r. That would be the perimeter. And L and R, you know how to determine and all. Segment is the part of sector. So that minor segment, major segment. So what you see, this is the minor segment, this is minor segment, while the remaining part would be the major segment. So this is the area of segment ACB, and this is a formula, and this is a formula of perimeter of the segment. Fine. Then if you talk about a room, so room is in the form of cuboid. So then I talk about area 4 walls of room. So that is 2 into L plus B into H. So that is important consideration what you need to do whenever we talk about area. So when we talk about area, we not include the floor area, because whenever you do painting, you do painting on the walls, not on the base area. That's why that is not included. Then area of track, you can understand, this is easy thing, length into breadth formula. Then if I talk about cube, cube is a cuboid where length, breadth and height all are equal. So this volume of cube, A cube, total surface area, 6a square. Diagonal you can understand. Three dimensionally you can visualize the figure. That would be root 3a. Similarly, cuboid, the length, breadth and height, they are unequal, and then you get their volume, total surface area and the diagonals. Then cylinder, the formula of cylinder, pi r square h. Then curved surface area. So for when I talk about curved surface area, we'll talk about this part. We'll talk about this part, that is curved surface area. That is 2 pi rh. I'm assuming there's nothing inside. It's a hollow cylinder. So that is curved surface area. And total surface area, assuming that they have they have something on the top and bottom. So you can find the total surface area. That is nothing but curved surface area plus the sum of area of two circles, which is there at the top and bottom. So that is the total surface area. When you talk about cone, cone have the volume which is 1/3 of the volume of cylinder. So if there is a cylinder which is filled with water, so if I put the water into cone having the same radius and height, then I can put into three cones. So the volume of cone is 1/3 of the volume of cylinder. The curved surface area is pi RL, where L is called slant height, and the formula of slant height you can prove it through Pythagoras theorem, and then you can find the total surface area. That is nothing but curved surface area plus the area of the base, so that you can find. Then a sphere. Sphere is a three-dimensional, circular, spherical object like Earth or anything which is three-dimensional. That is sphere. So in sphere, the curved surface area, total surface area, both are same thing. That is 4 pi r square. And uh, then uh, then when you talk about hemisphere, half of a sphere is hemisphere. So you can understand the formula of hemisphere. In hemisphere, because you can understand, when you cut the sphere, there's additional area created of the base. That's why the curved surface area and total surface area is different in the case of hemisphere. So fine. So now, based on that understanding, let's solve the question. So we'll start the solving problem. We'll start with easy problem first, then gradually we'll increase our level. From easy, we'll do moderate. From moderate, we'll do difficult. Right now, the questions what I'll discuss all would be a two-dimensional geometry questions. They are not all difficult. You can see this. So suppose this is the question. You can see this. Suppose this is question number 1. So 1 minute. So you can see this question number 1. The area is rectangle is given length into breadth. Area is 180 meters square and the length is 18 meter. So you know the formula, length into breadth, that is area. So the your breadth is 10, length is 18. So what is the perimeter? Perimeter is 2 into L plus B. So that is nothing but 28 to the 56. So the perimeter would be 56. Fine. Question number 2. Simple question. Everyone knows, no? So there's no point of me dragging it. You know that the area of rectangle is length into breadth, and the perimeter of rectangle is 2 into L plus B. Fine. So now you see the question number 2. The side of a square is exceed the side of another square by 4 centimeters. So suppose there's a square 1 having the side x, there's a square 2 having the side called x plus 4, and the sum of area of two square. What is the area of square? That is side square. So this area, and the other square area would be x plus 4 whole square, and the sum of the area is 400. So the sum of the area is 400. So x square plus 16, 4 square 16 plus 2ab, that is 8x, that is equal to 400. So I can write 2x square plus 8x minus 384 is equal to 0. So I can write x square plus 4x minus 192 is equal to 0. So 192 is equal to 0. I can find the factors of 192. That is 2s are then 96, then 2s are then 48, then 2s are 24, then 2s are 12, then 6, then 2s are 3. So I can find the factors. This is 12 and this is 16. So x square plus 16x minus 12x minus 192 is equal to 0. Now x plus 16 minus 12 into x plus 16 is equal to 0. So the value of x you get is 12. So what they are asking you, they are asking you find the dimension of the squares. One square is 12. So if the one square side is 12, the another square side would be 16. Fine. Now the third question, you can see the third question. Now you can see the third question. So the area of floor of a rectangular hall of length 40 meter is 960 meters square. So you know rectangle length into breadth. Length is 40. So the breadth would be how much? Breadth would be 24. Breadth would be 24. So the length is 40. If the length is 40, then the breadth would be 24. So 24 into 40 would be 960. Then carpet size of 6 meter into 4 meter are available. Okay, so how many carpets are required? So the number of carpet requirements, find this area and the area of the floor, divide that area of floor with the length of with the area of carpet. 6 into 4, this would be 10. Okay, this would be 4. So the number of carpet required, that is equal to 4. Simple calculation. Then next question, a lawn is in the shape of rectangle of length 60 and width 40. Inside the lawn there's a footpath. So this is 60 and this is 40. There's a footpath of 1 meter. So 1 meter footpath. So 1 meter and 1 meter. So this would become how much? This would become 38. This is 1 meter. This is 1 meter. So this will become how much? 58. Okay, so this is the footpath. This is the footpath. They're asking you the area of footpath. So the area of footpath is what? That is L1 B1. If you remember, L1 B1 minus L2 B2. You understand this. There's no need of wasting time. So this is ABCD. This is PQRS. So the area of the footpath would be what? The area of footpath would be 60 into 40 minus 58 into 38. You can easily do that. This is 2400 minus 58 into 38. 58 into 38. 5 3s are 15. 8 5s are 40. 40 plus 24, 64. Then 8 8s are 64. Then this is 4 10 12 2204. So this is 2204. So 2204. This is 6 9 190 196. So the area of footpath would be 196. Simple calculation. Fine. Now going further, find the area of this parallelogram. So if you notice, what is the area of parallelogram? Base into height. So if you know parallelogram, opposite sides are equal. So this would be also 3. So what is the area? Area of the parallelogram is base into height. Means 3 into 4 means 12. That is the area of this parallelogram. Right. Then next thing, what is the area of triangle? If you notice the sides of the triangle, what is given? If you understand, it is following Pythagoras triplet. It is following Pythagoras triplet. If you understand, this is following Pythagoras triplet. So means once you understand it is following Pythagoras triplet, your work become very easy. Once you understand it following Pythagoras triplet, so you need to understand 9, 12 and 15. So what is the area? Area of the triangle is half into base into height. So the answer is 9 into 6 means 54. Then what is the perimeter of equilateral triangle whose area is 4 root 3? So you know that the area formula of equilateral triangle, that is root 3 by 4, that is root 3 by 4 a square, that is 4 root 3. So the a square is equal to 16. So your a is equal to 4. So what is the perimeter? Sum of all sides are equal. So the perimeter will be 12. Fine. Then next question, find the circumference of circle whose area is 24.64. So circumference of circle area is 24.64. Area formula is pi r square, that is 24.64 divided by 100. So this you can see, this is 1 za, then 1 za means 22, 26 means 1 za, then 2 za, so 44. So this r square is 112 into 7 divided by 100. 112 is how much? 112 it comes in which table? 16 table, no? 16 sevens are. Okay, great. So 16 sevens are 112. 16 into 7, 7 square divided by 100. So what is the r value? R would be 4 into 7 divided by 10. Okay, so you will get 2.8, 28 by 10 or 2.8. So what is the circumference? Circumference is pi, sorry, 2 pi r. So 2 into pi into r, 28 by 10. This is 4 za, this is 5 za. So you will get 88 by 5. 88 by 5 means 88 by 5 means 17 5 za 85, then 38, then 30, 17.6. Fine. Then next question, if the radius of circle decrease by 20%, what is the percentage decrease in area? So you can do it, if you're good in percentage, you can do it very easily. So you can take 100 and area is pi r square, pi is constant and radius is decreasing by 2 times. So 100 if you decrease by 20% become 80, again decrease by 20%. So it becomes 64. So what is the decrease? 36%. Like that you can do, but many people don't like this. Or you can apply successive percentage change, x% plus y% plus xy by 100%. You can apply successive percentage change. I think many people won't understand if they are not good in percentage. So I'll not do like that. We let the radius is 1. So the area would be pi into 1 square. So the area would be pi. Then if the radius decrease by 0.2, now the radius will become 0.8. Now what is the area? Pi into 0.8 square. Area is pi into 0.8 square, means now the area is 0.64 pi. So earlier your area was pi, now your area become 0.645. What is the percentage decrease in area? So the percentage decrease in area is pi minus 0.64 pi divided by pi into 100. You do this, you will get 36%. Then if the perimeter of a semicircular protector is 36 centimeter, what is its diameter? So you know the formula of perimeter of a semicircle, that is 2r plus pi r, that is 36. So if I take r common, then pi is 2 plus 22 by 7 is equal to 36. So r into 14 plus 22 means 36 by 7 is equal to 36. So this get cancelled. So your r is 7. So what is the diameter? Diameter is 14. Okay. Then the ratio of the area of incircle and circumcircle of a square. This is good question. So when you talk about square, suppose this is a square and this is a circumcircle. So you need to understand that for circumcircle, you need to understand that for circumcircle, you need to understand that for circumcircle on a square, you need to understand that the diagonal of the square will be equal to the diameter of the circle. You need to understand diagonal of the square will be equal to the diameter of the circle. So the diagonal of square is root 2a. Suppose the side is a, so that is equal to diameter of the circle. So I can say I'll write r in the term of a. So this is r is equal to a by root 2. Okay, so this is the r in the term of a. This is circumcircle. Okay, this is the circumcircle. Okay, so the area of this would be what? So if you want the area of circumcircle, you want the area of circumcircle, that is pi into a by root 2 square, means pi a square by 2. Now this, once you get the circumcircle area, now I'll talk about in circle area. So suppose this is the square of side A. If you take a in circle, then you need to understand, if you consider a in circle, if you talk in the term of in circle, then you need to understand that the side of the square will be equal to the diameter of the circle, will be equal to the diameter of the circle. So in that way, you can see diameter is a, so the radius of the in circle would be a by 2. So the area of the in circle would be pi into a square by 4. So you know that area of circumcircle is pi a square by 2 and area of incircle is pi a square by 4. So with that you can say the area of a circumcircle on a square is to the area of a incircle on a square. That is nothing but, that is, so they're asking incircle with circumcircle or circumcircle with incircle. So their ratio of incircle to circumcircle they're asking you. So they're asking you incircle with circumcircle. They're asking you incircle with circumcircle. So incircle with circumcircle they're asking you. Incircle with circumcircle they're asking you. Incircle is pi a square by 4. Circumcircle is pi a square by 2. Okay, so the answer is 1:2. Fine. So you understood this. So the answer is 1:2. Then going further, diagonal, if it given, you understand no diagonal. Diagonal is root 2a. So if a is the side of the square, diagonal is root 2a. So a would be 25 root 2. Understand this. You can apply Pythagoras theorem. So if this is a, you know that in square, all angles, all sides are 90 degree with each other. Pythagoras theorem, this is root 2a. So root 2a is 50. So a is 50 by root 2. And write a is equal to 50 by root 2 into root 2 into root 2. So this is 50 root 2 by 2. So that is 25 root 2. So the a is 25 root 2. So the area, if you want to determine, area would be the square of 25 root 2. 25 square is 625 and root 2 square is 2. So the area of this would be 1250. Then the next question. Find the area of circle if its circumcircle is 2 pi r, sorry, is 176. So 2 pi r, 2 into 22 by 7 into r is 176. So 10, 8, this is 8 za, then this is 4 za. So r value is 28. So what is the area? So the area would be pi r square. Pi is 22 by 7 and r is 28 into 28. This is 4 za. So this is 88 into 28. That is the area. So 28 into 88, that is the area. 28 8 za. 28 8 za is 64, 6 carry. So 16 plus 6 to 24. That is 422. So you'll get the value called 4642. 2464. That is the area. Okay. Now going further, question number 14. In a circle of radius 42, an arc subtend an angle of 72 degree. So in a circle of radius, so the arc is 72 degree and the radius is 42. So you need to find the length of the arc. This length is this length. Length formula is theta by 360 degree into 2 pi r. That is the length formula. So 72 divided by 360 into 2 into pi. Pi is 22 by 7 into r. That is 42. So this is 6. This is 60. This is 60. So then you can use this. This would be 30. Then this is 30. Then this is 11. And this is 15. Now what left is 72 into 11 by 15. So 72. Now the length. 1 minute. You will get the answer in decimal. So your length is 72 into 11 by 15. I can write this as 5 this is what? This is 24 3s are 72 now. 24 3s is 72. So this is 264 divided by 5 means 5s are 14. 14 means 2s are then 52.8. Whatever unit, centimeter, meter, whatever is given, centimeter. Okay, that is your answer. Then this was question number 14. So this is 15. Question number 15. Okay. Now isosceles right angle triangle. So isosceles right angle triangle. So this root 2a. So has an area called 200. So what is the area of this triangle? Area of the triangle is half into base into height. That is equal to 200. So the value of a would be 20. And so a square is equal to 400. Then what is the length of the hypotenuse? Length of the hypotenuse root 2a. The hypotenuse would be what? 20 root 2. And you understand, right? Then the next question. Then find the length of the square slab that can be fitted in a room of. This is the number question. So you have a room of 10.5 meter. I can write as 10.5 meters, 1050 centimeter, and this is 300 centimeter. This is the dimension of the room, and you need to put square slab, and you need to put the square slabs in such a way that you need to use the minimum numbers of slab. So then you need to think what would be the dimension of the slab. The slab what you're using, the square slab what you're using. So what should be the dimension of the square slab? So for that, you randomly don't take any dimension for the slab. So the dimension of the slab what you can take. So the dimension of the slab what you can take dimension. So the dimension of the slab what you can take, that should be the HCF of 1050 and 300. Okay, so that you get the largest number which can divide both the number together. So for that, find the HCF. So what is the HCF of 1050 and 300? Find the HCF of 1050. Find the HCF of 300 and 1050. Just go by 10. So this is 30 and 105. This will go by 3. So if we go by 3, this is 10 and 35. Then this will go by 5. This is 2, this is 7. So the HCF of them would be 150. So the dimension of the slab what you should take, it should be 150 centimeter. Okay, so the number of slab, what is the number of slab? That would be nothing but that would be the area of rectangle, whatever is your room, area of rectangle divided by the area of square. With that you can find the number of slab. So this is 1050 into 300 divided by 150 into 150. So this is 2 this is 7 15 7 So 7 into 2 14. So the number of slab you require is 14 slab. So try next question, everyone. Everyone try this question. Think how you can do this. Anyone, any doubt? Whatever the questions I have done, anyone have any question to ask? Try these three questions. Try these questions, everyone. So how will you do this? You should get the answer 143. You should get the answer 143 here. So the take breadth as B. So the length would be B plus 2. So the perimeter would be the sum of all side. So that would be 2 into 2B plus 2. So that you can say 4 into B plus 1. That is equal to 48. So with that you will find the value of B. 1 minute. So you can see here, suppose the breadth is B, so the length would be B plus 2. Okay, so the perimeter formula is 2 into length plus breadth, that is 48. So 2 into 2B plus 2, that is 48. So 4 into B plus 1, 48. So B is equal to 11. So B is equal to 11. So B is 11, then length is 13. So what is the area? Area would be length into breadth. So 11 into 13, that is 143. So the area would be 143. Then the next question. Then 1 minute. So next question is cost of leveling a rectangular ground at 1.25 rupees per square meter. So you can see per square meter, it is given, square meter is given, means you have to find the area. So the cost is 900. So if the length is 30, what is the width? So if the length is 30, you take width as x something. So you can take width. So here, okay, now see here. So these are easy questions. I hope you understand. So we don't have to do slowly these questions because we know their questions are easy. So we need to learn to do it fast. So doing slowly will not serve the objective. So length is 30. Length is 30. So take breadth. So the length is 30. Take breadth as x. So the area of this would be 30x, and that this is the area per meter square, and for every meter you per meter square you're paying 1.25 rupees. 1.25 rupees I can write 5 by 4. So this is the total money you're spending, that is equal to 900. So this is 180. So you can write this is 6. So the value of x would be 24. So that is what you need to do. Next question. Next question is, these all are easy question. I hope you understand. So next question is, the length of the rectangle is twice the breadth. So the length is double of breadth. And if the length is decreased by 5 centimeter, so if the length is decreased by 5 centimeter and breadth increased by 5 centimeter, okay, then the area of rectangle increased by 75 centimeter square. So the earlier area of rectangle was how much? Earlier the area was length into breadth, means b into 2b. Earlier your area was 2b square. So now the area is increased by 75 centimeter square. So I need to solve this quadratic equation. So this is 2b square plus 10b minus 5b minus 25. That is 2b square plus 75. So 2b square get cancelled. This is 5b equal to 100. So breadth is equal to 20. So what they're asking you, length. Length is double of breadth. So the length would be 40. Then next question, the dimension of the floor of a rectangular hall is 4 meter into 3 meter. The floor of the hall is tiled fully with 8 centimeter into 6 centimeter rectangular without breaking the tiles of the smaller size. Find the number of tiles required. So always understand, if you see the room dimensions are given in meter while the tiles dimensions are given in centimeter. What you can do, here, so for here you, so now so you can see this. So the room is, so I can take in meter centimeter, this is 400 centimeter, this is 300 centimeter. So this would be the dimension of the room, and then I'm putting tiles of 8 and 6. So what number of tiles means how many number of tile I'll use, that would be nothing but that would be the area of the floor of the hall divided by the area of tile. That will give you the value of n. This n is nothing but that is 300 into 400 divided by 8 into 6. Okay, so this is what? This is 50 times of this, and this is 50 times of that. So this is 50 into 50, so that is 2500. So these many tiles you require. Then so then till how many questions are done? Okay, till 20 I have done. Question number 21. Find the number of marble slab of 20 centimeter and 30 centimeter required to pave a square. Same thing. Again the same thing here. Earlier rectangular room was given. This is square room. So the side is 3 meters. So again the same thing. Number would be the area of square would be 300 centimeter into 300 centimeter divided by 20 into 30. So this would be 10 and this would be 15. The number would be 150. Fine. Going further, if the perimeter of the rectangular field is 200, so 2 into L plus B, that is 200 means L plus B is 2 into L plus B. So L plus B means 100, and breadth is 40. So if your breadth is 40, so the length would be 60. So what is the area? So the area would be 40 into 60, that is 2400. Then the next thing, find the area of triangle. Base is 1.5 meter. 1.5 meter you can convert into 150 centimeter, and height is 75. What is the area formula? Half into base into height. So half into 75 into 150. So this is 75 into 75. 75 square is 5625. And already in Vedic math, I explained how to find the square of a number, and you can easily do that. So any number like this, so any number which ending with 5, you want the square. 75, so it will always end with 25. 95 square, it will always end with 25. 125 square, that will always end with 25. 225 square, that will always end with 25. Now see the digit here. The digit here is 7. What is next digit of 7? Next digit of 7 is 8. What is 7 8s are 56? So this is the answer. What is next digit of 9? 10. What is 9 10s are 90? What is next digit of 12? 13. 12 into 13, 156. What is next digit of 22? 23. What is 22 into 23? That is nothing but 22 square plus 22. 22 square is 484 plus 22. So that is 506. So the answer would be 50625. So this is Vedic maths. Already I have explained Vedic maths technique. I made around 8 videos on Vedic maths. I believe you have gone through those videos in the past. If you have not done, please go through that. Now the next question, find the area of triangle which each side measure 8, means each side 8 centimeter, means it's an equilateral triangle. What is the area of equilateral triangle? Root 3 by 4 a square. A is the side. So you can do this. So this is 16 root 3. And root 3 value is 1.732. So if required, you do that. Otherwise, in option, if they're given in root 3 options, then no need to do anything. Fine. Then perimeter of isosceles triangle. Then the perimeter of an isosceles triangle. When you talk about isosceles triangle, the two sides are equal, and this is the base. So their perimeter means 2a plus b, that is equal to 14. And the lateral side and base are in ratio 5:4. Means the ratio is 5:4, means this is 5x, this is 5x, this is 4x. So this would be 10x, means 14x equal to 14, means x equal to 1. Means actually this is 5, this is 5, this is 4. Okay, now what is the area of the triangle? To do that area of the triangle, you can assume draw a height. Always this will bisect it. You can prove it through congruency. So this is 5, this would be 2. So you can use Pythagoras theorem, find this value. This is 25, 5 square minus 4. So this would be root 21. So the area of the triangle would be half into base into height. Half into 4 into root 21. So the answer is 2 root 21. That is your answer. Fine. So understand the, and otherwise there's a formula is there, but why you want to complicate the situation? Understand. So if this is isosceles triangle, this is 5, this is 5, and this is 4. So if you draw a height on this, it will bisect the triangle. Okay. So if you bisect the triangle, means this will become 2. So if it become 2, so you can find this h. What is h? H is nothing but square root of 5 square minus 2 square. So you get the height as root of 21. Once you get the height, then you can find the area of the triangle. That is half into base into height. Base is 4 and height is root 21. So the area of the triangle. So the area of this triangle. So the area of this triangle would be 2 root 21. I hope you understand this. Then again the same thing. So find the side of the equilateral triangle whose height is 6 centimeter. So if equilateral triangle height is 6 centimeter, so you understand this Pythagoras theorem you can apply. So you should know the relation. So the a square is equal to h square plus a square by 4. So you should know a is equal to root 3 by 2a. Okay, so height is given. 6. So height is 6. So root 3 by 2 of A. So A is equal to 12 by root 3. 12 by root 3. So I can multiply root 3 both sides. So I'll get 4 root 3. So then next question. So find the area of equilateral triangle if the height is 9. So again the same logic. Height formula of equilateral triangle is root 3 by 2A. Okay, so height is 9. So that is root 3 by 2 of A. So you can find the A. A value is 18 by root 3. A is 18 by root 3. So what is the area formula? Area formula is root 3 by 4 A square. So 18 by root 3 into 18 by root 3. Root 3 get cancelled. And this is 2 9. This is 2 9. This is 2 9. So the area of this would be root 3 by 4 pi square. Pi is 1 meter. So if you see this, to talk about equilateral triangle, so if this is A and this again like same both for equilateral triangle and for isosceles triangle, the altitude always bisect the base. So this is H. So A square is equal to H square plus A square by 4. So the H square is equal to 3A square by 4. So H is equal to root 3A by 2. This is the formula. So height is given to you how much? Height is given to you 9. So height is given to you is 9. So if the height is 9, so if your height is 9, root 3 by 2A, so the A value is 18 by root 3. So you can write A is equal to 18 root 3. Rationalize it, multiply root 3 both sides. You can say 18 root 3 by 3. You can say A is equal to 6 root 3. So once you get the side is 6 root 3, you can find the area. Area is nothing but root 3 by 4 into A square, means 6 root 3 into 6 root 3. So what you can do, this would be 3 this would be 3 So you got 3 3 9, then root 3, root 3, root 3. So you get 27 root 3. So that is your area. Fine, there's some error here. So root 3 by 4, 18 by root 3, root 3 by 4. Why? So root 3 by 4, then if I do 18 by root 3, then 18 by root 3, I should get the same value. So root 3 get cancelled. This is 2 this is 9, this is 2 this is 9. So this is 81 by root 3. 81 by root 3 means root 3 if I rationalize both sides, then also I'll get 81 root 3 by 3. So I get 27 root 3. So I'll do anyway, I'll get the same answer. Then next question. The perimeter of square and equilateral triangle are equal. So the perimeter of a square and equilateral triangle. So perimeter of a square is 4A and equilateral triangle perimeter was, so perimeter square, suppose equilateral triangle side is suppose X. So this is A and this is X. So so you know the perimeter is the sum of all sides. So square is basically a polygon having 4 equal sides. Equilateral triangle is a polygon having 3 equal sides. So this is given to you. Then it is given diagonal of the square is 12 root 2. So you know that diagonal formula is 2 root 2a. Root 2a, that is diagonal formula, that is 12 root 2. So the side of the square is 12. So the side of the square is 12. So the side of the square is 12. So once you get the side of square is 12, so I can I can find the equilateral triangle. So 4 into 12 divided by 3 equal to x. So x is equal to 16. So the side of equilateral triangle is 16. What would be its area? Root 3 by 4 a square means 16 into 16. This is 4 so 64 root 3. That would be its area. Fine. Simple formula. Again we are using same kind of calculation. Not at all anything different. Then the next thing is, the next question is, a lawn is in a form of rectangle having length twice its width. The length is double of width and the area of lawn is 2 by 3 hectare. You should know 1 hectare is equal to 10,000 meters square. You should know this. Okay. And then so the length is twice of width. So here, so the area of the rectangle would be so width is suppose W. So the area of rectangle would be 2W square. So they are in meters square, and the area is 2 by 3 hectare. So 2 by 3 hectare. If I convert that hectare into meter square, so width value I can find, that is nothing but 100 divided by root 3. That is your width. So you got the width as 100 by root 3, square root of that. So the length is double of width. So the length is double. So the length would be 200 by root 3. Okay, so width is 100 by root 3. So the length would be 200 by root 3 because length is double of width. Same thing. Then next question. Two roads XY, two road XY and YZ of length 15 and 20 meter respectively are perpendicular to each other. Okay, what is the distance between X and Z? So distance means they are the, whenever you want to find the shortest distance, then you will not go with this. You just use Pythagoras theorem. It's a right angle triangle. So they have used Pythagoras theorem. So this would be 25. And I believe you know that. So this is nothing but that is square root of 15 square plus 20 square. This is nothing but 225 plus 400. So this is nothing but root of 625. We'll get 25. Our answer is 25. So I hope you understood this. So these all were very easy questions. And in these questions, what I have done, I have just discussed the basic concepts. So if someone is looking for some easy exams where the level of questions are not difficult, and you know that mensuration is very important topic. In every exam, definitely you get a questions on mensuration, especially those who are preparing for SSC or IBPS or CGL or in all such exam or FCAT, all the exams, you will definitely will get the questions on mensuration. So it's one of the very important topics you can expect. But it depends from exam to exam. In some exams, the questions which comes are very easy level. So they are just the direct application of formula. So if you know the formulas of rectangle, square, rhombus, parallelogram, circle, semicircle, we talked about those formulas: cylinder, cube, sphere, hemisphere, cone, cuboid. If you know the volumes and areas, formulas of them, their relation between sides and their diagonals, I think you can easily crack these questions. Solving these questions are not at all difficult, as you can see. And intentionally in this session, all the questions which I did, which I was doing, I try to do it fast. The reason of doing it fast is to make sure that you also think fast when you're solving the question. So you should not solve it slowly because these are easy questions. Such exams where the easy questions will come, in such exams, in such exams you need to solve 1 minute one question. In all such exams where these kind of question comes, so definitely in those exams you will not get more than 1 minute to get the answer for the question. So there I cannot solve it slowly. If I teach you slowly, then you'll think also slowly, and then overall the objective will not get fulfilled. So I hope you understood what all I have done in this set of questions. What I did, the level of these questions were very easy. So I request everyone that when you get the question, you do the question from yourself, and once you've done the question, you can see the answer. Answer is given next to the question. If you get the correct answer, then no need to see the steps. You can directly jump to the next question. Wherever you feel there's a doubt or there's an iota of confusion, you can probably see the set of solutions, because all the solutions are direct questions. All the questions are based on direct formula based approach. So I don't think any of you will find any difficulty to get the answer of this question. But even then, I did this session just to make sure that even the weakest to weakest person can be in position that he or she can know to get the answer fast. That was the overall agenda of doing this. So I hope you enjoyed this session. So with that intention, I like to say goodbye to all of you. So thank you everyone. Okay, then see you for the next class. Take care everyone. If you like the class, please hit on the like button and please subscribe to my channel. Thank you everyone. Bye.